to, let's talk about what we went over last class when we were talking about head injuries and what to look for and how to diagnose those injuries and how we should manage certain... Nico! Are you sleeping again?
No, I wasn't sleeping. I was resting my eyes so whenever we started taking notes on the board, I could focus on the notes and copy them down, and I wouldn't miss it.
All right. Well, you can focus on this detention that you need to come sign right now, son.
I didn't even... I was just resting my eyes. I wasn't even...
So guys, when we're talking about Macbeth, we talk consistently all year about how power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. That third... Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping again? You need a little nine-nine?
Okay. Last night, I had practice, then I had work. Then, on the way home to go to sleep, my car broke down. Wasn't a big deal, got it.
Okay, just stop right there. Just stop right there. Because this is the world's smallest violin playing right now. Stop right there. I got concise advice to give you. Get in the fight!
An earthquake struck Oklahoma this past Saturday, and one of the first steps state officials took after the incident was to shut down 37 of the state's 3,200 active disposal wells. A disposal well is a hole dug by oil and gas producers to get rid of wastewater used in the drilling process. The wells push the wastewater deep underground, possibly fracturing and weakening rock and leading to induced earthquakes.
Oklahoma is in a state that is known for earthquakes, and this is what is scaring scientists. Since 2013, the amount of earthquakes has increased by 5,000%. Scientists fear that the disposal wells will lead to a great disaster and are looking into a solution to this problem. Until they can, the wells will remain closed.
When I was hired a long time ago, 1999, we didn't have this litter problem. It is something that has grown along with the population of the school growing. It's important to me to keep things clean. My house is clean, my car is clean, and I feel like the school should be clean too. You look at this campus, trees, flowers, plants. This is a beautiful campus. This looks much more like a college campus than a high school. And I think a lot of people take that for granted. Where I went to high school, it was concrete and steel. We didn't have a whole lot of beauty like this. We didn't have a large number of students' mothers that would come out and work like they do here. I think students totally take it for granted, and they should be cleaning it instead of expecting other people to clean up after them. Maybe that's how it is at home. Maybe they're always picked up after by someone else, so they don't quite understand the importance of cleaning up their own trash. We try to teach them, but it's a very hard lesson to teach. It's something that you either understand or you don't. So I'll do my share, and that's about all I can do.
I care about littering on campus because I came from the lower 9th Ward, and when I was living there as a kid, everything looked beautiful. All the parents went out and they took care of things, and they kept the bushes looking nice, and it was the sort of place you wanted to be. After I left, it just became this terrible, horrible place to live, and it was all the people that lived there. They just would throw things on the ground, drain the oil out of their car in the front yard, and kill all the grass. You define your space, and so as you're walking around the campus, if you want the pleasure of living in a nice place, if you see trash on the ground, pick it up. If you have something to throw down, don't. Put it in the trash can. And what happens is that you create your own world. You create the environment that you want to live in. So do that. Decide what sort of place you want to live in and then make it that way and help other people live in a better place too.
Good morrow, brethren. My name is Carson Caulfield, and this week I'm going to review Sully, which is directed by Clint Eastwood and stars Tom Hanks, also featuring Aaron Eckhart and Laura Linney. So the plot of this movie is an account of U.S. Airways Flight 1549, which infamously is the plane that crashed down into the Hudson River on January 15, 2009. All 155 passengers and crew members miraculously survived, and what we've heard until now is that the pilot, Chesley Sullenberger, known as Sully, is nothing but a hero. Focuses on the crash investigation where some evidence suggested that Captain Sully could have made it back to the nearest airport without, going all submarine up in this joint. Sully, played by Tom Hanks' motivation is to clear his name of any misjudgment before and during the trial, which will either favor or not favor the judgment of the two pilots during Flight 1549. So the positives of this movie: great acting, of course. The main star is Tom Hanks, and also a great job by Aaron Eckhart, who most of you know as Two-Face from Dark Knight. Anyway, so the positive of this movie, well, it had Tom Hanks, so you know there's going to be great acting. Tom Hanks did a fantastic job. When does Tom Hanks not do a good job? If you have a bad Tom Hanks movie, please let me know. I would love to see that more than a good Tom Hanks movie. Anyway, also a great job by Eckhart, who most of you also know as Two-Face from Batman. He did a great job. Also a good job by Laura Linney. Basically, the acting was spot on in this movie, and it was obviously the best part, stand out. That's why they got Tom Hanks to do it, obviously. One of my favorite parts of this movie is that it's one of those movies that challenges you to pick a side. They give you all this evidence that is going against the captain, saying that they could have made it back to the airport, but at the same time, how could you root against Tom Hanks? You want the captain and the co-captain to be innocent, but at the same time, you're given all this evidence, and you're not shown until the final trial who's guilty and who's innocent and what was the right thing to do. So the negatives in this movie. It honestly was not written too well. There was definitely some holes in the plot, and there were some points that I definitely would have changed and noticed that was not really normal and that should have been in there. It really wasn't that entertaining of a story in real life. There was a plane in the air, it went down, hit some birds. Oh no, now it's in the river. Now we get out of the river, we're safe, yay! The whole thing in real life took about 7 minutes, and you're trying to make an hour and 54 minute off of 7 minutes in the air. With the trial, of course. But with that, it's still worth seeing. It's still a really good movie. The acting was great. Clint Eastwood did a great job along with Tom Hanks, obviously. And it's still worth seeing. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Not 5 stars, 4 out of 5 stars. You should still see it this weekend. And that's really all I have this week. And until next time, I'm still Richard Parker Lehman.
Our kids battled for 4 quarters, a great defensive battle. We played a great defensive game. We kind of cued Jack up that it was coming, and he watched a lot of film and had made a great break on the ball and made a great play and sealed the victory for us. But overall, great team victory for the Wolves tonight.
It was a great win. It was a great win. You know, the pick was great. The crowd was great. I can't thank the students enough for coming down and getting in the end zone, giving up the seats up there so that paying customers could sit, but then they were rewarded in the end by charging the field. What an awesome night. What an awesome feeling.
I think the players never gave up. They stood their ground. It was never over for them like some people usually think, and I'm very proud of them.
I feel really good. It wasn't perfect, but anytime you can beat a team like Jesuit, it's a big deal. They're a quality football team. They're extraordinarily well coached, and our kids had no back down energy, and our defense was absolutely lights out tonight.
Big win today, especially losing last week to a tough card team, but defense stepped up, and Naldi came big in the end.
The game was exciting. The interception was unreal. I can't explain the feeling.
I felt like we both came in. We played pretty hard. We fought to the end, And at the end of the game, I had faith in our defense, and we came up and made a good play.
Tough win, to be honest. But I feel good. I feel extremely good that we got to win. SBS back, baby. SBS back.